Welcome to The Randy Report. I'm Randy Slovacek, your host. I'm also the writer and editor of therandyreport.com, where you can find me every single day on the internet following the daily news cycle in terms of politics, pop culture, and entertainment news of interest to the LGBTQ community. In this week's headlines, Texas Governor Greg Abbott is calling a special session of the Texas legislature to try and pass an anti-transgender bathroom bill. The FDA has approved a generic version of Truvada used in PrEP. Transgender leaker Chelsea Manning gave her first interview since being released from prison. And this weekend is the huge March for Unity and Equality in Washington and around the nation. All that and more in this episode of The Randy Report. Texas Governor Greg Abbott has called a special session of his state's legislature starting July 18th. Abbott has assigned state lawmakers a 19-item laundry list of issues to work on, including a bathroom bill. The bathroom bill is likely to dominate much of the special session. HB 2899 would prevent local municipalities from passing anti-discrimination ordinances designed to protect transgender people. In addition, it would nullify existing policies in cities like Dallas, San Antonio, and others that have moved to protect transgender people's right to use the public bathroom that matches their gender identity. It was Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick, a man who seems to have made his life goal making life more difficult for transgender people, who forced the special session by making sure legislation necessary to continue some state agencies didn't get passed in the regular session. Chief executives of more than a dozen companies, including Microsoft, Apple, Facebook, Amazon, and more, have written to Governor Abbott expressing they are gravely concerned that any bathroom-related legislation would hurt the state's business-friendly reputation. Gee, if only we knew how passing such terrible laws might affect not only transgender people, but the economies of states passing such laws. Here's a hint, folks. North Carolina. Take note, Texas. We'll see in July how terrible this legislation might be. Stay tuned. Surprising many this week, the U.S. Food and Drug Administration approved a generic version of Gilead's antiretroviral drug Truvada. The approval grants Teva Pharmaceuticals the right to produce generic Truvada for the combination tablet's use as a component of an HIV treatment regimen and in use for PrEP, the pre-exposure prophylaxis treatment. However, Gilead did note in a statement that a generic version of Truvada will not be immediately available, citing a number of factors involved in commercialization that are not tied directly to FDA approval. While this is definitely good news, several people, including Peter Staley of ACT UP and Treatment Action Group, expressed concern about how this might affect Gilead's patient and copay assistance programs, which have become central pillars in patient access. It's very important that Gilead maintain these programs, and I'm hoping that Teva will establish equivalent or better programs for their generic version. In the latest news about the ongoing rounding up and torture of gay and bisexual men in Chechnya, according to the Associated Press, Germany is now granting special visas on, quote, urgent humanitarian grounds to those who can demonstrate that they are in immediate danger. The first gay Chechen to receive a visa arrived in Germany this Tuesday. 4 more applications for humanitarian visas are currently under review by the German government. As I've shared here before, for months, the world has seen reports from victims of the Chechen government's disturbing gay detention camps, where over 100 men suspected to be gay or bisexual have been detained and tortured. At least 3 reported victims have been killed. Chechen officials vehemently deny any allegations of torturing gay men, going so far as to deny the very existence of LGBT people in Chechnya altogether. German Chancellor Angela Merkel pressured Russian President Vladimir Putin to protect gay rights. He said he'd look into it. Additional countries like Lithuania have also opened their borders to gay and bisexual men facing persecution in Chechnya, but sadly, neither the United States nor the UK have offered any such refuge. In her first interview since being released from prison, Chelsea Manning spoke to ABC News this week about why she risked her career to disclose classified information and her fight for transgender rights while in military prison. Saying she has accepted responsibility for her actions, Chelsea shared that she felt it was her duty to give the 700,000 military and state documents to WikiLeaks due to the, quote, death, destruction, and mayhem she saw as an Army intelligence analyst in Iraq. Even though President Obama commuted her 35-year sentence, Chelsea's 7 years in prison is still the longest ever served by a leaker. Chelsea hasn't shared what's next for her, but we'll be watching. In an example of you never know what's going to happen on social media, this week Twitter user David J. tweeted, "I want to thank Dave Bautista for being an LGBT supporter and defender. It's important, especially for younger generations, to see that. A true guardian." Imagine his surprise when the former WWE superstar and current Guardians of the Galaxy star tweeted back, saying, "Obviously no thanks necessary, but I do appreciate the acknowledgement. Proud son of a lesbian, and anyone who has issue with that can suck my balls." Smiley face. Bautista isn't shy when it comes to standing up to homophobia. Last year, when boxer Manny Pacquiao compared LGBTQ people to animals, Bautista had a clear message, quote, "My mom happens to be a lesbian, so I don't fucking take that shit. If anyone called my mother an animal, I'd stick my foot in his ass." End quote. I like the way Dave thinks. Thanks, Dave. As it's Pride Month, I want to urge everyone to make sure that you all get your pride on wherever you are. This weekend, for instance, there's LA Pride, as well as Albuquerque, Cheyenne, Detroit, Indianapolis, Milwaukee, and many more, and around the world in Athens, Greece, Edmonton, Calgary, and Ibiza, Spain, plus the big March for Unity and Equality in Washington, D.C. Pride is always a great party, but remember, the point is visibility as a tribe, a chance to bear witness, to declare our solidarity with each other as LGBT people and our allies. As shown in the fight against HIV/AIDS and the ongoing battle for equality in law and society, when we come together, we are formidable. I also urge folks to take a look at the businesses and corporate sponsors for your favorite gay pride event to see which local establishments are turning out and showing their support for us. And not just businesses, but local schools, places of worship, professional organizations, and others. These are our allies and deserve our support. Get your pride on, kids. A reminder, the 71st Annual Tony Awards will be handed out on Sunday, June 11th at 8 p.m., airing live on CBS. Tape delayed on the West Coast, but I'm certain we'll all be checking on the internet. I'm not one for predictions because I don't want to look back and go, oh, I was wrong, but I can make these three, and I'm pretty certain. Watch the Tony Awards to see Bette Midler win the Tony Award for Best Actress in a Musical for her incredible performance in the revival of Hello, Dolly. Also, look for Hello, Dolly to win that Tony Award for Best Revival of a Musical. And finally, Ben Platt will win the Tony Award for Best Performance by an Actor in a Musical for his incredible, powerful, and sensitive performance in Dear Evan Hansen. Don't miss it, folks. And finally, I'm sad to share that Adam West, who became world famous as Batman in the 1960s TV series, has headed to the big bat cave in the sky, having passed away at 88 after a brief battle with leukemia. The TV series Batman ran for 3 seasons on ABC from 1966 to 1968 and was well known for its pop culture, comic book graphics, and campy acting. My early childhood years was filled with afternoons sitting in front of the TV with my brother watching the series. After the show was canceled, the series continued to have popularity with a cult following. In addition to the series, West played Batman in a full-length 1966 film, Batman the Movie, and he had already worked extensively in TV, appearing on shows like 77 Sunset Strip, Lawman, Sugarfoot, Maverick, and Perry Mason. His ensuing career never took him too far from the Caped Crusader, as he reprised the role in 2016's animated movie Batman: Return of the Caped Crusaders, and also appeared in 2017's The Lego Batman movie. Following his run as Batman, West landed a role as the mayor of Quogue on Seth MacFarlane's animated series Family Guy, and returned to voice his superhero character on series such as The New Adventures of Batman, Legends of the Superheroes, and The Simpsons. West is also known for starring in feature films like The Young Philadelphians and Robinson Crusoe on Mars. Burt Ward, who played his loyal sidekick Robin, remembered his co-star in a statement to The Hollywood Reporter. Quote, "I am devastated by the loss of one of my very dearest friends. Adam and I had a special friendship for more than 50 years. We shared some of the most fun times of our lives together. Our families have deep love and respect for each other. This is a terribly unexpected loss of my lifelong friend. I will forever miss him. There are several fine actors who have portrayed Batman in films. In my eyes, there was only one real Batman, and that is, and always will be, Adam West. He was truly the bright knight." While West wasn't gay, the campy, over-the-top acting style of the TV series, along with the sometimes homoerotic tone of the pop culture classic, gave millions of gay boys, including me, the chance to dream that even without superpowers, we could somehow be heroes. Rest in peace, Adam West. And that brings me to the end of this episode of The Randy Report. If you enjoyed the podcast, please make sure you click the subscribe button on my page on iTunes, and then every time I upload a new episode, it'll be sent straight to you automatically. And remember, you can find me every single day on the internet at therandyreport.com, where I report on the daily news cycle regarding politics, pop culture, and entertainment news of interest to the LGBTQ community. Thanks everyone for listening. See you next time.